It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues and Happy New Year. This is the first show of 2014. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I appreciate you tuning in this week. Appreciate you tuning in every week here to Veterans Issues. This guest I've been chasing. I could believe I could get a Elvis Presley on here easier than I can him, but he's finally made it. We're going to start the new year off with the president of the Oxford City Council, and Mr. Stephen Waite. So you stay there and get your pen. This is some good stuff, folks. Stay there. Welcome back in. Ken Rollins here, and today's guest is Stephen Waite. He's the president of the Oxford City Council, and we're going to talk about some of the things that are happening in Oxford that you may not be aware of. I know I wasn't, and I live here. So welcome to the show, Stephen.
Good to see you, Ken.
Good to see you, brother. It's been a long time. We've been trying this for how long now?
A long time.
Bo was a pup, wasn't it?
It's been a long time.
Stephen, you're the president of the council, and the council is made up. Let's see if I can remember. You, it's Chris Sperling, Charlotte Hubbard, and help me out, Phil Gardner.
Phil Gardner and Mike Henderson.
Mike Henderson, yeah, there you go. You know them.
I know them all real well.
I
know them all real well.
And of course, our mayor is Leon Smith, and
Yes.
we got a great city here, and I've lived here for a lot of years, and I'm so proud of it. But I wanted to talk about, because we got an audience of our veterans out there and our military, and shortly we're going to have all those coming back from Afghanistan. They're going to be looking for work, going to be looking for a place to move to, and we're going to show about 20,000 here in the state of Alabama. And I'm hoping that people viewing this show, we got a lot of people over there that watch us, and the first thing you want is a good school system.
Right.
Which we're not going to talk too much today about. We're going to make another show out of that, but some of the best school system I'd say in the state of Alabama is right here.
Absolutely.
Without exaggeration. And just drive by and look at them sometime, you'll see. They're not just good on the outside, but what happens on the inside.
We have a great school system with great leadership, and we're really blessed as a community.
And I'll say this, I'm so proud of the security that your police force, law enforcement provides for our schools that we need. We definitely need today. We shouldn't have to need it, but we do.
It's just a fact of
It is.
today. Yeah.
Now, Oxford, anybody that's ever been by 185 exit or 188 exit has seen, it's like that was a field yesterday. Now it's a store. I can remember when the Cracker Barrel, they would set 101 plus acres for sale, and there was nothing in there.
Right.
Now look at what they got.
There's been a lot of changes over the years. I mean, I can remember looking back as a kid and just thinking about, I remember when the interstate, coming through. So it's a lot has changed in our lifetimes, and really, if you think about it, a lot has just really changed over the past few years.
Yeah, I would give anything to seeing a old Google Earth picture of before and see what we got now. I noticed when coming in from Anniston over the Parkway to look at the lights that you see at night that you didn't see before, over here by the Exchange and places like that. It's just amazing. But lights don't mean anything. Let's forget the control room. We're going to work on some, kind of like when we used to go show and tell, we'd click, this is Billy and Bobby. We're going to do some of that to start with, because I want people to see some of the things that's happened in the last year or so in the city of Oxford, that improvement stuff. So if we could get the control room to pull those up, there's the first one, and that would be Oxford Lake, would it not be?
Yeah, that's a rendering. About 2 years ago, we realized we had some erosion problems with the edge of the lake. And that park is one of the most visited parks in our whole region. So when it came time to resolve that wall, we decided really, hey, this is an opportunity to do something special out there and really carry it back to really what my parents remembered the lake to look like, with the pavilions. And so we've added the pavilions and water fountains, the old boathouse look, and I tell you, we have just received a ton of compliments from the citizens on this, and the traffic out there has just greatly increased.
Oh, that's a nice one right there.
We're going to call that, I believe, the Mayor's Pavilion. It's a little larger.
I was on there with him on the 4th of July. The only bad part is, like I told you, you can't see the fireworks when you're inside it. So
you've got to be. Yeah, they look great, but you can't see the fireworks.
Yeah.
That's right. But we've got some great areas there, and those are available now for the public. You know, they can rent those or schedule those through the Civic
All right,
Center.
we're moving fast, so I'm going to throw them at you real quick. Now,
Okay.
This is the new Oxford Civic Center, looking at it from the interstate side.
That's right. Back in the 60s is when the Civic Center was initially built, and so we've wanted to do some renovations to that for some time. So what we elected to do is do some adding on to the back of it with some offices, and this is a good picture of the hallway there of what the interior looks like now. And if you've not been in the Civic Center in years, it's
A lot different right there by now. Everybody remembers that, though.
we really wanted to keep the old staircase because that's what people remember that Civic Center by. We just, you know, did a little rehab to it and added some new railing, but it really keeps the look.
You know, people, I'd say, going in the door, you remember the spiral staircase, and they always do this. You know, they got to do
the twirl.
Now, this is the new indoor, the arena, as you call it, I guess.
Right, we've added some seats, and if you remember, if you've been in there before, the seats at the bottom, they used to be the old orange chairback seats. We've changed all that out, and our director, Don Hudson, had a great idea of when we do this, let's make it so we can pull the bleachers back and add more tables for functions in there. So we're able to seat a lot more people in the gym. We now seat up to 500 banquet style in the gym, and so that's been a big hit.
Wow, so you could have catering going on there and have a table and stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, this is the Performing Arts.
Yeah, this is the initial rendering, and I think we've got an actual picture in there too of it, but that's exactly what it looks like today. It's amazing. That rendering is right on the money, but that's the former City Hall, and before that it was an elementary school in the 1920s, so we really wanted to keep the history of the building, and the Performing Arts Center is something that the Arts Council
should have had a little black trim around that gold up there.
It would have all gone together, wouldn't it?
It would have.
The old bell tower there, but we've been wanting to do this for quite some time with a project with our Arts Council, so we wanted to put it downtown.
Ooh, look at
that's
that.
A great picture of the interior. We've got about 1,145 seats with state-of-the-art lighting and sound, an orchestra pit.
Wow.
For an orchestra. And as a matter of fact, our first performance there was the Alabama Symphony Orchestra, and if you made that event, it was outstanding. So just a beautiful, beautiful facility.
And this is down the hallways of that?
That's upstairs. Downstairs, you will notice that we kept the old pine floors. That was an idea that the mayor had, and it really just turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful facility. That's a look from the stage outwards, and
when y'all book me, so that'll be what I'll be looking at.
Yes, we can make you sound good on there, Ken.
I got you.
With that sound system, we've got a lot of stuff coming. That's a view from the balcony. The JSU musical for children, The Frog Prince, will be there later this month, and we've got events scheduled throughout the year. And that's an event that at Christmas. That was the Dutton family Christmas special that came from Missouri, and they were incredible.
I heard a lot about that.
We had a great time watching that.
But you had some rock band in there too, hadn't you?
We had Blood, Sweat, and Tears from years ago. Those that can look way back when will remember them, and that was a great event that the Arts Council brought in.
Well, we got to go to a break. You went through that stuff so fast. We got a lot more. So y'all stay where you are. Come back. Got a lot more of Oxford for you. Stay there. Welcome back in. We're talking with the president of Oxford City Council, Stephen Waits, and we went through a lot of pictures. We could bring up those others. I want to bring up this is the, let's see, I want to bring this one up, a special Oxford League of our own. It's a, how do you want to say this? Challenged, for kids that are challenged.
It's a baseball field for mentally and physically challenged kids between the age of 5 and 19. And a lot of people may have heard about it as a miracle field, but this is a site on Recreation Drive out near our softball complex and tennis complex, and we've actually got that cut down. It's a project that we're working with Eastman on. We're working jointly on together, and Cal Monroe, who is an architect, is actually volunteering his time for Monroe and Jenkins to draw the plans for that. This is just some pictures of our current League of Their Own, and Ginger Monroe has done an outstanding job putting this program together, and the league's actually doubled in the last 2 years. So it's time that they had a field where they could, go and play safely.
And the surface is kind of padded.
It's a padded surface where you can play on it with wheelchairs or crutches or canes or whatever device.
We got one down in Moody for the Miracle League, and I have been down there. Every kid gets to hit a home run.
Their theme is every player hits, every player gets on base, every player scores, and every player wins.
We're going to have now this is the one that a lot of people got questions about. If you look at this from overhead, that is the new Sportsplex. Is that what you're still calling it?
It is. I like to call it a recreational complex because it's so much more than sporting fields.
People don't have any, including myself, have any idea what it's going to look like when it's finished, but we see it from the Leon Smith Parkway, and I live off Boiling Springs Road, but coming by Home Depot and the Exchange there, Publix and all that, this is what you'll be seeing on your left and right. And when do you think you might start on?
Well, it's going to be at January 14th, which is this coming Tuesday, and we will plan to actually start moving dirt on it within a couple of weeks.
Have it finished by the 20th?
We would like to say so, but realistically, it will be sometime in 2015.
Wow, but to see it happening, and people be coming all over for that. That's not just going to be for local teams, is that?
Really, there's a couple of reasons that we wanted to do this project, and we've been working on it for quite some time. And the two big reasons are, number one, for our kids. We have to turn away some adult softball leagues and other things just because we don't have the facilities to do that. But with our school system, we have a high school baseball field and one high school softball field, but what we don't realize is we have a 7th grade team, an 8th grade team, a 9th grade team, a 10th grade team, and a varsity team.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can get a popcorn thing going out. Look, we do got a lot of other things, and that I could do a whole show on that one. Let's go to I just found out the other day about that we're going to build another fire department, a new fire department in the city of Oxford. That's going to be. I was coming from Bynum, and I saw this, and you were telling me the new fire department is going to be out where some of us know the old Snake Farm is what they used to call it.
That's right, at the corner of 78 and Bynum Cutoff Road. This is, to me, out of all the projects that we have done over the past few years, this is a priority. We want to provide excellent fire coverage and response times to that area of the city, and a lot of people call it Bynum. It's Oxford, and so we want to make sure that they have the same facilities as we have in other areas, and we've done that with the recreation in that area, but we needed to do that with the fire department. So we're excited to see this go. It'll be a full-time manned station.
Wow, and one of the other residual effect is the insurance of the people out in that area. That's going to affect the insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to maintain certain fire protection within a radius, so that this will definitely help us with the ISO and being able to meet those needs.
Do you have something else on the street department or another?
What is that? What we're doing there.
Oh, this is the old street
department. Yeah,
that's
a lot of people don't even know that is there. This is next to Watson Drive on 78, next to the middle school, but this is our current street department and garage, and you can't see it really from the road because of the trees. It's really well hid, but we're actually redoing that whole complex. We'll be building a new garage and a new street department. Those facilities are by far the oldest in our city, and they've outgrown them and really, really need new facilities. And then we'll also be adding a volunteer station fire department there with a training facility. There'll be a 4-story training tower there where our full-time firefighters will be able to actually train on site without having to go out of town to train. So it'll be a big asset for them as well.
That's great. I've seen other cities that are doing that, and it's coming to that time where you're going to have that kind of response people.
Absolutely.
Because as your buildings grow upward and outward, you got to have better response. What's our next slide? We've got Aldi's up there. Now, Aldi. I don't know much about them, but I understand they're cheap the grocery cheap, and you got to do a lot of things like sack your own groceries, things
Right.
like that, and that's the way you save the money.
Right, it's value shopping is the way my mother-in-law used to say it, and she had one in Gadsden, and it's very, very popular over there, and so we're excited to get an Aldi's in Oxford. It's on that former Holiday Inn site where Bojangles has opened up, and by the way, they'll have their grand opening the 16th of January, so we're really excited. The developer's done a great job with that site, really making it look good.
I've learned a new term, bow size.
Both sides. You have to share that one with
Well, you know, they got super size and all this stuff. When you pull up to the Bojangles, and I've been there several times, they'll ask you want to bow size that, and you say, I want a drink, and they say you want a bow size. In other words, do you want small, medium, or large? You want fries, you want small size, regular size, you want a bow size. And that's a new language I've learned.
I'll have
by
to try
shopping.
that one
Yeah,
out.
if they ask you about bow size, you tell them.
Now I
said it.
know.
There you go. So you can maneuver that place. The Oxford Commons Phase 2. What do you?
Yeah, you know, that's next to Publix.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks have been
Oh,
wondering
yeah.
what's happening with that site. Well, you know, we'll be able to hopefully make an announcement on that towards the end of January, but that's moving along very, very well. And, you know, that sports complex has really generated a lot of interest from retail, and we'll be seeing a lot more
Well,
retail development in that
I
area.
like to throw a curve to everybody, all the guests. Where in all this is that Krispy Kreme going to be?
You know what? If I could get a Krispy Kreme here, we would be all over it. You hate to drive to Birmingham to get a Krispy Kreme, but we do have a great Dunkin' Donuts right across the street.
I know you do. I stopped on the way here this morning. As a matter of fact, they all know me. Hey, something that's not on here is the old downtown. Over the years, I've had revamping the downtown and stuff, and finally, somebody put their money where their mouth is and doing something. Charlotte Hubbard has opened up Hubbard off Main. I've got to go there, but I'm not. I mean, they're wearing out my Facebook talking about how good that is.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yes, I have. I've been there actually a couple of times and eaten, and it is fantastic. And in essence, Charlotte's doing exactly what our vision was when we put the Performing Arts Center downtown and invested back into downtown. That's part of the plan, that we would hopefully see growth down there, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So if you get a chance, Hubbard's off Main is an outstanding restaurant.
Well, we out of town. Out of town. We're out of time, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to give up some of my time here at the end. We're going to come back more with Stephen. We got some things to talk about. Very important. Be right back. We're back again. We're going to change the structure of the show the way we normally do it. I normally take this to have news that you can use, but this is news that you can use. This is we're talking with Stephen Waits, City of Oxford, and we're talking about some of the things that we're working on. And the one thing I want to talk, the Sam's Club. That's Sam's Club is down here for those of it. It's in the Exchange or by the Exchange. And if you're going down like you're going to Kohl's, you'll be looking straight at Sam's. Is that correct?
That's correct. And a lot of people don't even realize this is a picture just from
it's
last
almost
week,
built.
but it's almost dried in. And a lot of people didn't even realize that they had broke ground.
I told somebody here at the station today that what they don't very seldom you ever go down in there. If you go to Kohl's, you can actually see it. But now I noticed one of the things, and people say I got some papers. I don't normally do all this, but you got a Highway 21 South improvement. That's down by the Walmart area. Is that where you're talking about?
Right. From Highway 78 down to Walmart, we've been working with the state on a project for the last year, and that's about to wind up. They're about to finish the striping there, and it spurred some development in the area, which anytime you invest into an area, you're going to see developments and retail developments really start to spur
What's
up.
that burger place you're building?
Well, they've not officially announced, so I'm going to let them announce it themselves.
I'll announce it for them.
But it's a really good one coming.
Yeah,
so.
I got some great tea and them Milo hamburgers. I didn't mean to say that, but anyhow. Anything else on that 21?
No.
Okay,
no,
I like the way it looks. It was so
does.
cluttered before, and this now we're talking about the Leon Smith Parkway improvements. Tell me about that.
Well, we've got Sam's Club going up, Publix has just gone up, the new development there, the sports complex. Obviously, that area right there, we've done a lot of work with congestion, but we've got about a $7 million A-Trip project with the state where we'll widen the bridges there and do some traffic improvements and realign Boiling Springs Road with the entrance to the sports complex. And that'll start within the year, and sometime around 2015 we'll see some completion there. But that's all in trying to look down the road of the additional traffic that will be generated by all these projects.
Let me say something here, because on the State Board of Veterans Affairs I serve on, we built a 100+ acre cemetery down in South Alabama and down around Fairhope area. And when you get land like that, first of all, you got to make sure that environmentally there was nothing there before. Then we had all the mineral rights. We had about 7 companies that had the mineral rights. Even after we got ready to do this, it took about 1.5 years just to get the mineral rights, because some of these companies were off in these foreign land like Texas and stuff like that,
Right.
and anyhow, when you had the sportsplex down there, things, we had the underground problems you had up there by the Publix. That's unforeseen. You can't see that with a sonar. You can't.
Right.
You get in there and all of a sudden something happens and something rumbles down below. We got a thing called an aquifer.
Right.
And sometimes the aquifer shifts.
Correct.
And today is not tomorrow over here. It could happen to any place in the United States. But y'all have had your challenges, but yet you still went forward. And we're going to see this stuff come to fruition. And I'm excited because I live there by it and I watch it. It's real convenient to me. And you can see I patronize all them good eating places. But it's something I just wanted to brag on Oxford a little bit. And one thing we haven't talked about here today is let's just highlight. We got a minute, so let's talk about the schools. You got the best school system, I said earlier, in the state of Alabama.
Right.
Looks like a college when you look at it off of the interstate.
Well, our city is always focused around our school system. It's just something that our community has always believed in 20, 30 years ago even. And we've got great leadership there now, and our city is committed. The city government's committed to continuing to work with the school system and continue to improve it every day and make it the best that it can be.
Thank you for making Oxford what it is today, and thank you to all the other councilmen. Would you do that?
Yeah, I
Thank
sure
them
will.
for it, and our mayor. And
Absolutely.
I'm proud to be an Oxford citizen. And I've left out one thing. You have now a television station, WEAC TV 24, is located in your city.
Absolutely, and we're very, very proud to have them here.
All right, we're proud to be here. Steve, thanks for coming on the show. Look in the camera. Will you come back
Absolutely.
or send somebody?
Absolutely.
We got a lot to talk about. See you next week here on Veterans Issues.